All right, friends, family, and fans, welcome to Guitar Gods and Creations. Today we're going to be taking this Ovation, 1981 Ovation that we've already restored and redone and kind of tweaking it, but the strings are just too heavy gauged for it, and they're just too uncomfortable. And there's another minor adjustment on the frets we're going to do. So basically what we're going to do here today is we're going to show you the proper way to string any acoustic guitar or any regular guitar, and this is one of the ways, but this is the main way that we string a guitar, or the proper way. And so we will be doing that, and it's good having you on board. Welcome everyone, and subscribe while you're here. Subscribe, and help us get more people to see what we're all about. And you'll get to see a lot of different things other than strings and cleaning. It'll be musicians from all around the world we'll be doing interviews with, and having a blast with it. All right, so here we go, and right here, as you can see, we have some, it's called hops, I believe it's hops, or let's take another look at that. Yes, it is hops 9 lubricant. You can use it for, well, it's for guns, but it is great for using for, your keys and any place where your instrument might need some oil. And here's some Elixir strings, as you can see, upside down. But those are bronze wound, and they are nano webbed, and they are absolutely fantastic when it comes to sustaining and sound. They are amazing, and they last a very long time. So those, this guitar is going to be blessed with those strings because they are absolutely amazing. If you haven't used them, friends, family, fans, guitar enthusiasts, you must use them. They are absolutely amazing. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and get this guitar completely unwound and get all the strings off of it. Here we go. All right, so this is the perfect time right here to kind of give you an idea of what you can do before we get started. You can always clean the neck under the strings, clean your fretboard. This particular fret, after having the strings on, I saw it still needed a little bit of fret flattening. So before we put this together, we will go ahead and get it sanded down. So let's go ahead, and you see these frets right here, they actually set, because of the use of the first 3 frets, set a little higher than the others. So we'll just go ahead right here with my sanding block made out of stone, and we'll back and forth hit these a little more aggressively so they set a little lower. And this is so you don't have to replace all your frets or your first 3, which is a very good thing to do. So now that that's been hit, we just lightly hit these and then hit all the other ones as well. Well, this cleans them all up, makes them more even. And very playable. Now this stone is very, very smooth, so it's as you can see, there's a little bit of dust, and we of course want to wipe all that off, get it off completely. We don't have to repolish or nothing like that. It's a super fine stone, it's already been polished, but you want to get all your dust and knock all the ugly off of there. Alright, it feels nice and smooth now. And it's ready to go. So, it's ready to be strung. Ready to be strung, no sharp edges. Alright, now let's get into, of course we don't want to forget our lift. We got a little piece of paper we put in there to lift the one side just a little, because it's asking for it. And sometimes that's the only way. Sometimes there's only certain ways you can bring a guitar back to life. Sometimes they've been overplayed, or you would need new frets and you'd have to fret the whole board, and that's not that big a deal. Yet it can be a lot of work. So here we go. Let's go ahead and talk about this knife. So 1, 2. You want to go up 2 from where you're stringing it. There's 1, 2. Okay. And you make your cut. Now you want to make sure that this tip sticks out right here, just like you see here. And as we start to wind it in, it's going to come around. Now this is real important. You want to come over the top. Now that little point you see sticking out right there, you want to go over top. And this is real important because I'll explain it as we go here. We're going over the top, and we're going to come all the way back around with that point sticking out. And then we stop right there. And as you can see, here's your point. You want to go below it with your string. So go below, holding it tight. You don't want to let go. And then you get below it. Now that overlaps the string itself. That's going to prevent it from going out of tune, and that's why you got to stretch the strings. There's another reason why we go up 2. Some people like to, have all that extra string in case it breaks the bottom or this or that, and leave all them strings dangling. It is really an ugly mess. You can actually hurt someone or hurt yourself, poke a kid in the eye. You never know what will happen. But it is real important that you have that little bit of extra. That's why you go up 2 key posts all the way up. So basically about 3 inches is what you want. So when you're winding, in case that string does break and you want to use that little bit of extra, or you make a mistake and put the wrong string on next to the other, and that can happen. So as you can see, we're getting it in position, holding things down, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch the string. Okay, a little bit. See how we stretch it, and then we go ahead and tighten it. Stretch it, tighten it a little more, stretch it. Now that stretch is it's a pretty good pull that's happening there. So some people wonder, how hard are you pulling? It's pretty good. You gotta give it a good pull if you like your string staying in tune. And that's just all there is to it. A lot of new guitars that don't have locking systems on it, locking trimmings, locking nuts, will go out of tune real easily with new string unless you overlap and then stretch them. It is very important to stretch them. If you do, then you'll be much more happy with your playing, and you won't be spending all your time tuning it, because what's going to happen is you're going to tune it over and over and over and over until it gets to that point. If you stretch the strings, tune it, stretch it, tune it, stretch it, tune it, it'll eliminate that ugly process of going out of tune all the time over and over. And then you think, geez, what's wrong with my guitar? When really it's just the stretching of the string. So here we go with a new string. Get this pulled up on here. Alright, now let me explain this again here. On your actual high string, you want to go up 2. See, 1, 2, where you cut it. Even though we're going into the first peg, you want to go keep the length at least 2 pegs up. So with this one, we're going to install it. Okay. Now again, you want to get it just right, get it in the hole, and then you want to leave that little bit hanging out. Okay, and then again, as you're turning it, get that tip hanging out. As you're turning it, you want to go over the top. Over the top of that post. Now that post is going to spin around with that point, and that point's going to come all the way around. Then you want to drop down below, right here, and then go ahead and turn it again. And keep it below the whole time. That way you got your overlap, and it's going, of course, around and around and around and around and around and around and around until it tightens up. And you'll have all that extra string, and you won't regret it. And in this video, I will show you why in a little bit. You will not regret it. It is always good to have that little bit of extra string underneath. But it also takes a little more time to stretch the string, because it is wound a few times. So it's okay. It's a good thing to have. So right here, of course, we're going to go ahead and that nut right there wants to slide, but once we get all the strings in position, it'll want to stay more and more in place. I just want to make sure it's tucked into place, just where it's supposed to be. So as you can tell, it's still a little bit of a. See, now it's clean. But that was the whole purpose of sanding down those others, because it wasn't exactly clean. It was clean, but those heavy strings were pulling. They were just a little bit too heavy for this guitar. So we'll go ahead and stretch it out again. And here we go. String number 2. Here we go. Oh, number 3, I'm sorry. I gotta remember how to count here. So string number 3 coming on into play. Now again, okay, make sure you got it tight too. Now interestingly, this acoustic doesn't have pegs, so you can just pull it through. Now you got 2 pegs you can count from. You got this one, and then an imaginary one. And where that imaginary one is where you want to cut. Again, you want to leave yourself at least 3 inches of string left over, okay, from where you're going to install it, or from what peg you're putting it in. Here we go, we're throwing it in. And again, remember, we'll go over this several times. It's real important to know this, learn this, and to have it under the belt. You want to get it in just right, where you have a little bit poking out, as you can see here, clearly. Thicker strings, you can see a whole lot better. And you go ahead and give it a turn, and we'll bring it around and around and around. Make sure that you're going around the top. Once again, you want to go around the top of that part sticking out. And then, of course, you want to bring it all the way around town. And right there, as it is about to meet with it is when you want to drop below it. Keeping it tight, holding on good, keeping it tight, and then going below it. And there we have it. Alright, now we want to go ahead and do the same thing. Start to put the pressure on it, like so. Give it a good yank. As you can see there, we'll give it a good yank. And we'll stretch it some more. Tighten it, stretch it. Tighten it, stretch it. And what you'll notice is it doesn't sound like it's going out. And that's when you know you've got a good stretch on it. Now remember, when all the strings are on, we'll have to repeat the process, which I'll show you. And it's really easy to do. And if you follow my step-by-step routine, it really is beneficial. And these Elixir strings are absolutely sensational on your acoustic. So if you're not aware of an Elixir, they cost a little bit more, but they have a nano and a poly web that goes over the string that protects the string, number one, from corroding and all as the other strings would, and that it helps them to sustain all at the equal amount of time. So not only are these strings really great for longevity and they'll last a long time, but they are absolutely incredible with the way they sound. I mean, they are beautiful sounding strings, and absolutely, again, remarkable in the studio as well. So if you're going to use strings in the studio, Elixirs are really amazing, and their sound is incredible. So here we go. We're going up 3 more inches from the peg, the tuning peg right there, where we're going to wrap it. And again, we'll go ahead and see, we got 1, 2, there's an imaginary pegs, basically 3 inches. So we'll go ahead and cut it right there. Hold both strings so that don't go flying. Cut it and put it over there. And there we go. Now we'll go ahead and take another look here, and we'll repeat the process, and we'll repeat ourselves, because of course we want you to do it step by step. And remember the process. So you want to come around and remember to stay above the part sticking out. So you got that part sticking out. Stay above it when you come around the first time, and as it comes back around to you, and there it is. You want to bring it down again below, so that way it overlaps, and that will prevent the strings from slipping, and as well from going out of tune once you stretch the string during this process we'll go through. Alright, so then we'll get it in place here and tighten it on up and give it a little stretch it on out and tighten it and stretch it and stretch it again. You can hear the tuning going down, so just give a little more of a stretch. And so you want to get it good and stretched out before we go into the final tuning and stretching, because you want to get it as close as possible, so that way when it's going through the tuning process it's really easy, and we'll walk through that here shortly as well. Now obviously I cannot find the string I'm looking for. Now in that bundle I had a 3-pack bundle, and I'm missing the 1 string. That one particular string is a I believe it was a 12, and I totally missed it. So here we are opening the box, and I installed the wrong string. Yep, there it is, 12. So I installed I think it was a 16. See, there we are, getting all stressed out. Oh my goodness gracious, geez, look at no stuff. What in the world? Blah, 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 blah. And there it is. We're going to roll through and look at them real quick and go, yep, there it was. The 16 is what we installed. So 16 went on instead of the 12. Now, this, friends, family, fans, guitar enthusiasts, is a good reason why it is great to have that 3-inch 3 inches of extra string. Now these are expensive strings. That is a humongous mistake if you use the locking system that other people use to lock the strings, because they do it right at the beginning, they lock it, and that can be a huge problem. Some people will keep the strings, like the extra string, until it's all done and then cut them. So if this problem happens, it's okay. So, of course, obviously, I'm working out what went wrong. Ultimately, it was figured out there. 24 right there will be our third string, and I'm sorry, our third string, and we're going to go ahead and have to switch all this out. So here we go. We're going to switch it on out. Let's hurry up and get it done. Now, again, this is why it's real important to leave that extra string on there, and here's exactly why. So as you can see, we're getting that out, and we're re-bending it. We're bending it just right, and there's that one end right there. So you want to straighten it out as much as you can by hand, so you can pull it out of the base, and you want to get it in. Now, of course, that was where it was supposed to go. That was the second string. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and take the rest of the strings and run them through so we don't make no more mistakes. Which is, actually, you can do this if you want. You can actually put all your strings into the back first and get them in place. But I couldn't exactly do that. Well, I could have, because I had to get the nut on there. But all the strings are actually in the bridge now and ready to go into position. So that extra string, okay, that extra string that we wrap around the post is very important, because that mistake right there, that particular mistake, you can see right now that we have the three extra inches. Thank goodness for that, okay? Now, that leaves us just enough room to, fix this problem. Now, they are, like I said, expensive strings, and you don't want to have problems if you can help it. So with that mistake being made, because look, I've been doing this for years and we all make mistakes, and there's one. So it's important. Now again, you want to stick the top out, stick that little piece out right there, wrap it around, come around the top, just like you see, coming around the top, coming around that top, coming around the top, and bring it on around until, of course, it's just about to meet, and then go below. So you want to go ahead and bring it down and under, and keep it below the whole time, and tighten it on up. All right, now we go ahead and take this string here and get this one in. We'll go ahead, that's our first string. We'll go ahead and get our first string. And just in case, none of you are aware, see there, we're counting down. There we go. Counting down, so that way we have that 2-peg marker, 3 inches at least extra. Once again, we'll take a look at the peg, and you get that little tip sticking out. Just enough. Get that peg sticking out. And you can take these little pegs here, and you can bend them downward too. Like once you're done, you can take those pegs and you bend them downward, because you can get cut badly on them. So it's not a bad idea to bend them downward and out of the way once it's done. So you can come on around with them. Some people get cut on them terribly. I've personally been cut on them pretty bad, but I've been, working with guitars for many years, and you can cut someone else really bad with them by accident. So as you know, you come around the top, and then when you meet, you go around the bottom, so that way it tightens it up. So there that is, right there. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and stretch it. Give it a little stretch. I get my finger under it and give it a pull. Tighten it up. Tightening it up. So we'll do the same thing with this one. Tighten it, stretch it. Stretch it. And when you pull it and it pop and you do it over and over and it's the same sound, that means you're at the point to where it's completely stretched out. So if you're pulling it and it drops in sound, when you pluck it again, you tighten it, you pull it, it drops in sound again, you tighten it. And if you pull it and it sounds the same after you do it a couple times, then that means you don't have to tighten any longer and just wait until the final, when you're doing the final tune. So here are with our third string, and we're going to go ahead and get that in there, and as you can see, we'll do the same process all over again. Alright, so you want to go ahead and wrap it around, but you want to have that tip there. You want to come around over the tip. So you want to stay to the top of the tuning peg as you're wrapping around over that tip, and when that tip that you stuck out comes around and meets with you, then go under the tip once again, and we'll wrap it on around until we start to get it tightened. And we'll stretch this string out, same process. And we will show you how it's done. Because for a lot of you out there that aren't familiar with stringing your own strings, it really is not that hard. But there are tricks to the trade, and when you learn them, you will be set for the rest of your life. So, take the time to learn things, especially here at this channel. We'll be teaching you a lot of things. We're going to be doing a lot of customizing. We're going to be making some insanely killer guitars that are just absolutely mind-blowing with lights and skulls and angel wings and lit up guitars and all kind of amazing stuff. Sculpted guitars, sculptured guitars, and everything else. So, stay tuned in what we do at Guitar Gods and Creations. And don't forget, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that bell to be notified. Go ahead and give it a yank. As you can see, we'll give it another yank here. And we'll tighten it up some more, stretch it. Meanwhile, I'm holding the nut in place, as you can see. Now, all the strings are in position. And everything's looking really good. And now it's time. It is time for the final tuning. And here we go. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to get on your phone if you want to have your own tuner. And it's actually quite nice because it's loud and it works really well. Simply just say Fender Guitar Tuner Online. And here it is. It'll pop up. Click on the little guitar, slide it on up. Don't click on the guitar, click on the little box right here, and as you can see, it'll pull it up, and then there it is. And here we go. All right. So here we go. We want to get our, our phone in a position. Of course, get our adjustment here. A little too high. Just right. Now, we're going to go ahead and stretch it. Not too bad. Alright, now get it just right and then stretch it. Stretch it real good. You can hear it went low. Now that's just right. Stretch it some more. See if it stays. Make the adjustment again. Stretch it. Pop it. Tighten it. Stretch it. And that's very close, so we'll keep that one there for now. Because we want to come through sometimes once or twice here through all the strings. And this is how you get your guitar just right. Now we'll stretch it because that sounds about right. Stretch it again, get a good stretch on it. See how it sounds? Stretch it one more time. Stretch it real good. Try it again. Stretch it one more time. Pretty much exactly on. So we'll move on to the next one. There we go. Get a stretch on it. The higher strings you don't have to stretch as much, you'll find. Give it one more stretch. I think we'll move on actually. Now you got to remember, as you're tightening up all these other strings, it's putting tension on the neck and taking the low E and the strings beside it. It's probably going to make it lose tune because the neck is bending the more you tighten up on all the other strings. And that is why you got to come back around a second, sometimes a third time. So here on a high E, pluck it, stretch it out again, pluck it, or see what we got. We'll stretch it again. Come through again. See, it's low. But this time we'll just run through them because we know we've stretched them really well. And we'll run through one more time. It should be ready at that point. It's always good to run through good 3 times. Sometimes 4. But guitars out there, this is how it's done. If you don't feel like spending a lot of money on someone else doing it for you, this is right here how it's done. And you can do it. You can do it. It's not hard. Now, if you got guitar tuners that you put on your guitar and stuff, it's a good idea to then after that, if you want, put it on your guitar and then, go through them again. But This is actually the most practical and easiest way to do it all the way through as you're setting your guitar up, because you don't have to hold the guitar. And if you learn to set it on a towel and lay it on a table and do this, it'll sound great. Listen to that. Wow, those Elixirs sound amazing, and they feel incredible. Absolutely feel amazing. So get yourself some Elixirs, and yeah, and remember to subscribe. We're not quite through. We're going to go ahead and let you hear how they really sound. We'll come on around with them, but get yourself some Elixirs today, because they are amazing strings. And remember, you know, if you're not sure, come back around and watch this video again, step by step, and walk your way through. Don't waste your money on other people when you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Just the will to do it and the confidence to try. Thanks for watching, friends, family, and fans, guitar enthusiasts all around the world. Guitar Gods and Creations is for you and for all sorts of other enthusiasts who love guitar, who are coming into guitar. So share this page, subscribe, like, and hit the bell so that way you know what the heck's going on. And the next time we do something super cool, because this isn't all we do. We got a lot coming, and you know, you're gonna love it. So again, subscribe, hit that bell, like it. Don't forget to leave comments and your thoughts and all that good stuff, because you know, it's really a big deal to us, and you know, and all those out there that are going to be on this channel, that we will be doing productions of soon. Have a good one.